Welcome to Brave Together Parenting, an empowering and truly helpful podcast for the parents of children with disabilities and all unique needs.
And the other thing I did learn, I'd come to terms with over the years was I never talked about my own injury. My children didn't know about it.
Really?
And I started to realize that if I want Olivia to be okay with it, I needed to be okay with it. And so I started to model. So I started to talk more about my own. And so now it's very, everyone knows I'm very open about it. But I decided if I needed to teach by example, and I had to be okay with mine to show her that it's okay. It's just a little piece of you. It's not the whole picture.
That's
Unfortunately, it takes up a big piece, but there's more to her. And she's a very kind, empathetic, compassionate person. And I like to focus on that.
So do you think that you had a sense of shame about your own injury?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Can you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, I think I assumed people were going to look at me differently, if they were going to judge me. And, I also dealt with a lot of guilt, even though the accident was not my fault. I was hit from behind, and the person who hit me had hit 2 cars before me.
Oh my
So he was driving recklessly. So there was no way I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. There was still a little, that guilt just is always there. And I just had a hard time talking. And I think I focused so much on her recovery and so much on her, getting what she needed in the school system and making sure that everyone, understood what her, injury was and how to help her. And it wasn't until after that I was like, you know what, I need to really talk about my own. And I do believe that it has helped her in some way. She's never said it, but I do think there was an acceptance and a camaraderie there that maybe hadn't been there before.
Absolutely. I mean, what we know is that people thrive when they feel like they're not alone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing that not just do you care about her and love her as a mom and you're her caretaker, but also that you understand some of what she's experiencing.
Yeah, exactly.
That takes away all of that alienation that often, kids who are different feel.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's isolating.
Right.
And they always feel like the odd one out, because if they get pulled out for services or, they have to go to speech therapy at school, people are like, all the other kids are like, why are you going to do that? Why are you doing that? And it just makes them feel different. And that's not a great feeling.
Thanks so much for listening today. Do us a favor and leave us a review and a rating so that this podcast can get into the ears and the hearts of more and more moms. Did you know that Brave Together Parenting podcast is an extension of our nonprofit organization, We Are Brave Together? We Are Brave Together serves an international community of caregiving moms, offering support groups that are virtual and in-person, educational resources, and low-cost weekend retreats. And we have published our first anthology of caregiving stories entitled Becoming Brave Together, Heroic, Extraordinary Caregiving Stories from Mothers Hidden in Plain Sight. It will encourage and validate every parent caregiver. To join us today, go to wearebravetogether.org. Our support and sisterhood awaits you. Brave Together Parenting Podcast is for entertainment and education purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional care and should not be relied on for medical or mental health advice. The use of any content on our podcast, links, show notes, or on our website is to be done at your own personal risk. Please seek out a professional to assess your own medical or mental health concerns because we are all beautifully complex and the content of this podcast is for a broad audience.